Hello and welcome to your safety briefing for September 2020. On the agenda today we're going to be covering COVID-19, risk assessments, Kier, SHE alerts, steel plates, training and competence and PPE. Please ensure that you watch the full video as there are some questions at the end. With COVID-19 restrictions returning and the arrival of the colder months shortly upon us, it is more important than ever that we follow all the guidelines, and these include regular hand washing and sanitising, adhering to the maximum room occupancy in the offices, staying 2 metres apart whenever possible, wearing the correct PPE when this is not possible, wearing PPE when travelling. Remember, there's 2 people max in a larger van. Both must wear a face mask and the passenger must wear a full face visor, and also regular sanitation of common touch points and shared equipment. Contact myself or your supervisor for any PPE or sanitizer that may need replaced. Please don't become complacent. By not following the guidance, you could be spreading COVID-19 without even knowing it. The main symptoms of the virus are a high temperature, a new continuous cough, and a loss or change to your sense of smell or taste. If you have symptoms of COVID-19, however mild, contact your supervisor. Do not come into work and you must self-isolate for at least 10 days from when your symptoms started. Risk assessments are now done on the tablet. They can be found under the Kier info pack. They have the addition of coronavirus on the bottom of them, and they must be completed at the beginning of each day. And if anything on site changes in relation to maybe weather or deep excavations, whatever it may be, they must be resubmitted into myself. SHE alerts, safety, health and environment. So we had 3 recent failings found during testing procedures on the Firmus energy network, but again good learning for our network as well. So the first failing was mains exposed under test. So a main was found to be exposed while under test. The consequences of a failure to operatives or the public could have been very severe. The second one, live mains, a mains under test partially exposed. So an excavation was discovered where both the parent main and the mains under test were partly exposed. Properly orientating the steel plate on site would have completely covered this, and mains under test sign was missing when the procedure was taking place. So it is vitally important that we follow the procedures detailed in the method statement, and these also can be found on your Kier info pack. So a second SHE alert on the Firmus Energy contract, and again good learning for our contract. So on the 17th of August, a smell of gas was reported at 55 Guildford Road in Lurgan. Upon investigation, it was determined that the black band had melted just below ground level, causing the inserted 20mm PE pipe to also melt, causing a leak. The minimum standard was not followed as per the following. So quarry dust must be placed around the black band during backfilling to protect it against the heat. An asphalt or bitmac must be below 38 degrees Celsius before placing in the proximity of the black band. Steel plates. So I just want to draw our attention back to last year on the 25th of October. An elderly lady tripped on 2 steel plates that had been left stacked on top of one another and left in the carriageway beyond the site barriers. You can see in the picture below. She was dropped off in a car by a relative and tripped on the steel plates after she got out of the car and started walking towards the footpath in front of her house. She suffered facial injuries and a tear on her liver. So on this slide you can see some images of steel plates on our own contract left in an unsatisfactory manner. So these are the things that we don't want to be seeing out on site. So there are hazards with steel plates if they are incorrectly fitted. There can be traffic accidents due to the plate moving, leaving an open trench or bouncing. There can be damage to vehicles or cyclists if incorrectly ramped. And there's also unacceptable noise levels if bouncing due to not being secured or not to accommodate the curvature of the road surface. So use of steel road plates minimum standard. The method and the use of a steel plate. So the first thing that you do, you put out ramp signs. You manoeuvre the plate into position using chains per the delivery method statement, either attached to a grab or a digger crane. You also may require to push the steel plate with a digger bucket or spade. There's a minimum of 300mm overlap required. Ideally, you look for 600mm on busy roads. On footpaths and light traffic minor roads and access crossings, you use tar to both hold it and to provide a smooth ramp. And then on your heavily trafficked or fast roads where HGVs may dislodge the plate, you secure them to the ground surface by drilling holes through the corner eye, hammering in the bolts, wedging the plate to fit the camber and curvature of the road, and then you're creating your tarmac ramps. So many accidents are the result of untrained or inexperienced workers operating construction vehicles. Only operate vehicles if you are competent and authorised to drive them. If you are so, you should ensure that you are familiar with all the additional attachments on the machinery, such as lifting points and quick hitches and excavators, as these may vary. Drivers should be aware of their own responsibilities and avoid taking risks and shortcuts. Please do not operate any item of plant if you do not have the training and are not competent to do so, as it may lead to dismissal. PPE. So there have been a few issues in relation to PPE on this contract. I just want to remind everybody that as Kier branded flame retardant clothing is permitted. That means no hoodies, no t-shirts and no baseball caps. Clothing made from man-made fibres such as nylon may melt and stick to the skin, increasing the severity of the burns. The flame retardant clothing will reduce the risk of getting burnt while on the job, and it is designed to self-extinguish almost immediately, so it won't continue to burn once ignited. I know it's coming into the colder months, and some of you may feel the need to have a hoodie on to cover your head or the back of your neck. If this is the case, Kier do supply flame retardant balaclava. So if you do require any PPE, please ask myself or your supervisor. Thank you for your time and watching, and please answer the questions which follow.